Hello everyone, welcome to Chandigarh Civil Services Academy's YouTube channel. So in this video, we are going to discuss one important article that came in today's The Hindu newspaper, which was titled Energy Secure South Asia. So what does it talk about? Firstly, it talks about how electricity generation is important for the economic development of any country and especially South Asia. सो बेसिकली साउथ एशिया जो है वो 1/4 ऑफ ग्लोबल पॉपुलेशन है एंड द लैंड इट ऑक्यूपाइज इज 5%. एंड ऑल्सो अभी विद इन अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम साउथ एशिया में जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेशन है वो राइज हुई है एंड एवरी कंट्री इन साउथ एशिया इज फोकसिंग ऑन पॉलिसीज रिगार्डिंग इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेशन. और जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेशन की पॉलिसीज हैं वो उसको उसमें क्या क्या इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ें वो ध्यान में रखते हैं इन फ्रेमिंग दोज पॉलिसीज. फर्स्टली, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी हर एक हाउस होल्ड में जानी चाहिए. सेकेंडली, देयर शुड बी ट्रांसमिशन एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. ये जो एस्पेक्ट्स है ट्रांसमिशन और डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के, ये हमें ध्यान में रखने पड़ते हैं वाइल मेकिंग पॉलिसीज फॉर इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन. Thirdly, rural electrification is also considered while making the policies. Research and development, environment का ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा while generating these policies. And human resource training, because human resource is an important aspect of any policy. So all these factors are considered while framing a policy regarding electrification. Now we'll see the statistics how South Asia generates energy. Now South Asian जो countries हैं उनके पास resources भी different है. So when we talk about India की electricity generation mainly coal based है, यानी कि 55% जो है वो coal से generate होती है. In Nepal, hydropower is dominant. 99.9% of electricity is generated through hydropower. Bangladesh, if we talk about Bangladesh, उसमें natural gas is dominant. So similarly Sri Lanka में oil dependency है. So every country has different set of resources on which they are dependent to generate electricity. Now उसी हिसाब से हमें पॉलिसीज भी फ्रेम करनी पड़ेगी अलग अलग कंट्रीज के रिसोर्सेज कंसिडर करके. नाउ वील टॉक अबाउट बेनिफिट्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेशन. द राइटर लिंक्स इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेशन विद इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट. सो it's considered that if electricity generation increases by 0.46%, the GDP of that country increases by 1%. So there is a considerable linkage between electricity generation and increase in GDP. And also all the South Asian nations have greatly benefited from electricity generation. So in the article, percentages are given. How much percentage of GDP is increased in every South Asian nation because of electricity generation? When we talk about Bangladesh, 50.3% of its GDP जो कि आती है इंडस्ट्रीज और एग्रीकल्चर से, वो डिपेंडेंट है किस पर? इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पर. सो देयरफॉर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिकम्स एन इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ जीडीपी इंक्रीज. नाउ वी टॉक अबाउट नेपाल. 7.3% of GDP is dependent upon electricity generation. And similarly, we have seen an example of Pakistan. पाकिस्तान में पावर शॉर्टेज होने के कारण काफी ज्यादा जीडीपी डिक्रीज हुई. So when electricity or power is generated, the GDP also increases. If the power and electricity if it goes into shortage, then the GDP and the economy of a country suffers. Also in the article, the writer relates electricity generation and electricity with what? Sustainable development goals. If a country puts effort and its investments on electricity, then it also fulfills the sustainable development goals, which we all know that there are certain sustainable development goals जिन्हें हमें fulfill करना है. So when we talk about solar power and solar power driven projects, तो उससे हमारा sustainable development goal 7 पूरा होता है, fulfill होता है. And similarly, like when we engage female entrepreneurs in electricity generation, so SDG 5 is fulfilled. And when there is access of electricity which improves infrastructure, then our sustainable development goal number 9 is fulfilled. And when energy access leads to online education and which eventually comes from affordable internet. मतलब अब अगर किसी एक region में electricity आती है, so internet will be accessible very easily and which will lead to online education there. जो जिनके पास internet होगा, they will be able to access education and online वो काफी courses कर सकते हैं. So इससे SDG 4 fulfill होता है. And similarly, the electricity generation will generate employment and poverty से लोग बाहर आएंगे. So SDG 1 will be fulfilled. And with electricity, there will be more technology-based health solutions. So SDG 3 will be fulfilled. So these are some of the things that can happen when the government focuses more on electricity generation. Now, as a country, we have pledged that we will improve our electricity generation from renewable sources from 450 gigawatts to 500 gigawatts by 2030. And हमारा जो South Asian region है, it is rich in renewable resources like hydropower, solar, wind, biomass and geothermal energy. So it is very much possible to reduce our dependence on non-renewables and shift our focus to renewable energy. So what can be done about it? So there must be cooperation between all the South Asian nations. There should be regional cooperation. The writer talks about SAARC. The SAARC countries, they have entered into agreements, but जो SAARC का जो एक agreement हुआ था, which was Regional Energy Cooperation Framework, it happened in 2014, but the framework never got actualized. उसकी implementation नहीं हो पाई. And apart from that framework, there have been many multilateral and bilateral agreements like BBIN, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal. इसका ये एक project take up हुआ है. Apart from that, India, Nepal has also taken up various energy projects. So there have been various bilateral projects also. So these are the positive signs, but the writer cautions that when these agreements take place, there can be various issues as well, which can be like multiple social and ideational issues. There can be difference of opinion between two countries upon a upon an energy project. Like for example, Bhutan is very environment friendly nation, so it might differ in opinion on various energy projects, and like this there can be many difference of opinions between nations. So what can be done? There can be peaceful policy process should take place, and the writer suggests that only government cannot just tackle the situation. There must be private participation, and various public-private partnerships should come forward and take up various energy projects. So this was what the article was all about. I hope you all have understood it, and any suggestions are welcomed in the comment section below. Thank you, everyone.